Welcome back to my channel. My name's Rebecca, I'm 30 and I live in Newcastle and you are reporting for Beauty Duty. So today I'm actually really excited about this. The first time in a while I'm like really doing new things. I'm going to review the new Vieve Ninetease collection. So I have the palette and I also got the, oh, did I forget to bring the lip liner through? No, I didn't. I've also got the, one of the lip kits that came with the collection as well. I think it's new in the shade Brat. It's all got the same packaging. And I've also got the new concealer to try. And I got this a while ago, but I don't think I've ever used it. The Vieve Skin Nova. It's just a little deluxe sample I got when I bought things from H Beauty. Because I have one of their other palettes as well, like the first one she ever came out with, like Modern Neutrals or something, is it called? Yeah, hopefully when I take my hair down, we're going to kind of have 90s Pammy Anderson vibes. We'll see. So I really love the packaging. It's like feels like very cardboardy, which I really like, the sort of matte. And then it is just a lovely cool tone neutral, definitely darker in real life than it looked on social media. And I'll show the lips when I get towards the end. And the concealer I'm really excited to try. Also, concealer is probably one of the most fussy things I am about on my base. Like if it doesn't work for me, it doesn't work for me. Like I can't just make concealers work. So I am going to do my eyes first because I'm wanting to do something really smoky, 90s vibes completely. So yeah. The mirror in this is actually really good, so I'm definitely going to be able to use it. The first, am I going to set my eyelid with this? Potentially. Are my brushes clean? No. Are they ever clean? Also no. So I'm going into Skimp, which is a cool toned sort of beigey shade. First, I'm kind of just going to sweep it over and set kind of my eyelid a bit with that. Not quite, yeah, I'll go right up to the brow bone because it's quite a light shade on me. I'm going to just try and bring myself in a touch closer. So that's set. So it definitely doesn't show up on me as much of a colour. It's definitely just more of a blending shade. Give me 2 seconds. I'm just going to bring you guys in as close as I possibly can. Okay, that's kind of as close as I can get in my ring light. Yeah, so hopefully that is a little bit closer and better so that you can see. So as I said, I'm looking to do something super smoky. So I'm going to go into Soot first, which is just this shade here, which is a dark grey shade. It's a bit fluffy in the pan there, so I'm just gonna really pack that onto the lid. I absolutely love cool tones as much as warm tones. Because I am neutral, leaning a touch pink, actually I can get away with both colours quite easily without having to faff on too much. I do have the Melt Mary Jane, which is cool tone, which I really love, but that's quite brown. It's not so much grey as this is. So I was excited to have something super, super grey. I've also got Colourpop Stone Cold Fox, but I can sometimes find that a little bit difficult to work with. If I like this palette and I feel like I'll use it in freelance, I potentially will buy a second one. I try and not use too much of my own personal collection in my freelance kit if I can help it, but it is what it is, really. And then I'm just wiping the brush off a little bit. Yeah, I had something dark and cool toned on it to begin with. So I'm just going to blend the edges of this out a little bit. Kind of. Just going to make sure it's like fully even pigmentation and shape-wise on both sides. So formulating grey, like dark colours, is probably one of the quite difficult, I think, to make sure they don't skip and patch. I'm actually just going to take this almost right across the whole lid as well, because I want to do really smoky, grungy kind of vibes to kind of go along with the theming of this palette. I can safely say that this is definitely fully cool toned. It's not one of those things which I sometimes find where brands will say something's meant to be cool toned and like warm tones will creep in there as well. And I don't love trying to make warm and cool tones work together matte wise. I feel like it's fine if you do it and you cut your crease and put it on the lid, but I am too lazy to make it work colour theory wise. And then what I can start doing is looking like super, super muddy as well if you kind of mix the two colour theories together. I'm just going to come as forward as I can. And it's not a palette that you're going to get a huge amount of variation with. It is a cool toned grey palette. So if you're looking for something where you can get a million looks out of, I don't think that this is really it. And I'm going to take Low Rise, slightly lighter grey. Just lightly blend around the outside. I really haven't taken loads of this on my brush. This is just going to be a super grey look. And take that right into the inner. So I've got no issue with how it's blending. Obviously, if I wanted it to be like super precise and neat, I would put more work in and use slightly smaller brushes. I'm not going to use 1,000 eyeshadows here because it's not the kind of look that I'm wanting. And I'm going to take Skimp, which is the first shade that I use, which is the beige, but I still want it to look, you know, good. And then I've got 1993. So if she's born in 93, maybe that's why Jamie Genevieve put that in there. So she's a year younger than me. I was born in 1992. I'm 30. Shall I try and do a little bit of that over soot? I don't know how well that'll work over it. And bring in a bit of that sort of burgundy purple to it. And take that kind of a bit further towards the middle. It does work over. It looks quite grey, but I feel like if I'd used it on its own, it would bring in probably more of the sort of very cool toned purple shades. But this is really, really deepening that up really nicely, but just giving it that little bit more of a colour. Quite a lot of kick up in the pan. Honestly, that doesn't massively bother me. You know, hugely. I feel like as long as shadows perform well, I honestly could not care less about things like kick up in the pan, as long as it's not like absolutely exploding. And I generally, with darker shades, will do darker looks like this. We'll do my eyes first anyway, so fallout doesn't bother me. I mean, we're just going super smoky here, aren't we? And then going back into Low Rise. So I did post my first video in a while the other day, so do go check that out if you've not seen it. It's just me kind of doing a bit of a very simple everyday tutorial, quite like naturalish glam kind of vibes, and if that's something that you're into, then do by all means go give it a little watch. I mean, you can see the fallout is quite intense there, but it's not really bother me at all. And then just going back into Skimp, which is the first and the lightest shade in the palette. As I said, I want this to be just the smokiest, almost messy smoky. It's messy, it's smoky, it's doing its thing. Let me just clean up a little bit around that. Got some cotton buds. Okay, just giving this a final little blend around here. Now I've cleaned it up, just making sure it's blended nicely. Again, as I said, I don't really want super precision here. Just take a little bit more Skimp. Just under the brow. And yeah, nice and smoky. So we've got 3 shimmers in this. Oh, that's gorgeous. That's Dial Up, and then that's Acid Wash, and then I've got VHS. So all not dissimilar to each other. It's literally just ranging in kind of intensity color-wise. So I think what I'm going to do is, should I just use my finger? Because as I said, I don't really want, I'm not looking for precision here. So I'm just going to take VHS and just pat that on all over the eye. I'm going to have to clean that up a bit again. I'm hoping I can zoom you guys in post-production a bit. It's quite a pigmented shade, pigmented pigmented shimmer. Like it's not it's got quite a heavy dark base to it, so it doesn't really matter what I put on underneath. Kind of just blend that out, and then I'm going to take Acid Wash. Just tap that into the middle of my eye just to lighten that up a touch. I'm not really going for this sort of look where, you know, bright in a corner, bright brow bone. Not at all. Then I'm going to take Dial Up. I probably will end up doing something more like precise, like a cut crease or like a proper halo with it. Over on my Instagram, I just wanted to go with very much with the theming to do a video on it, and so just do very much a 90s look. I'm just going to go back into Soot, which is the first shade that I used. I'm just going to go back into that outer corner, kind of deepen that up again, because as much as I'm not looking for precision, I don't want to lose everything that I like initially did, because otherwise what is the point? And then go back in with a little bit of 93. Just to bring that fun colour back in there. I say fun colour, this is a very dark, kind of very much grey eyeshadow. If you know my aesthetic, you know this is very, very me. Initially, when the pictures first released, I thought, no, that's too light for you, but it's definitely not too light for me now that I've had a bit of a play. Okay, cool. So I'm going to leave the eyes there. You're probably saying, Rebecca, that is slap hazard. And it is. I'm actually just going to take, before I'm saying I'm going to leave the eyes there, I'm going to take a little bit of my loose setting powder, just for something a bit more fleshy toned. It's not going to disrupt the colour too much. I'm just going to do a big buff and blend on like a big floofy floofer. Okay, we are looking super smoky. Right, so before I go in and do like my base how I normally would, I'm just going to go in and put a bit of Skin Nova. It stopped recording and I don't know how long. So I'm just going to put a bit of the Skin Nova on, which is the Instant Radiant Primer. So as we all know, I'm not, I've been quite the Hollywood Flawless filter girl recently. So, but I definitely, as much it's not really for my skin type, definitely prefer the feeling of a radiance primer. Like I'm trying to get into things that are a bit more matte because I've got such oily skin, but I just hate it. Just really hate a matte primer so much. And I think because my skin is like that little bit more mature, I can definitely get away with some radiance in my skin, primer wise, before I lay down a matte, you know, foundation. I don't know, should I do like 90s matte skin and I'll just lay down a radiance primer? See, this is the sort of, smells nice, sort of thing that when I'm just gonna run out the house and not do anything really that I would like shove on as well, which I really like. Okay, so I'm going to go away, whack my foundation on, and then we'll come back and have a little look at the concealer. So I shall see you shortly. Okay, so that's most of my base on. I've done a bit of contour and bronze. I've tried to do a little bit less bronzing than usual to kind of keep it in with the 90s theme. So I've got the concealer, which is the Modern Radiant Concealer, and I've got this in the lightest shade. Listen, I like a light concealer. I'm pretty sure when I've swatched it in the store, I should have gotten light too, but I like what I like. I love a really bright under eye, so sue me. Smells no particular scent. She's thick. She's definitely a thick. But I like my concealer radiant, so that's what drew me to it. I'm no longer going to buy stuff to just try it if I know that I won't like it. Like, yeah. Particularly with concealers and things. Like, I'm not going to buy a matte concealer. I don't like matte concealer under my eye. I only like, I use it to spot conceal whatever I've got left that I'm still working through in my collection. So yeah, I hope that makes sense. Same with eyeshadows. If I don't feel like I'm going to get a huge amount of use in my like everyday life, I'm not necessarily buying stuff. Like, sure, if people are super interested in me like reviewing something, then I will, you know, have a look, especially if I've been recommended something. But I'm trying to keep my collection not small because it's already huge. I'm just trying not to make it bigger. Coverage is nice. Yeah. Obviously the colour is ridiculous, but that is how I like my concealer, okay? It'll come together when I finish my base, trust me. Let's having a little look. I'm not blown away. Like, I don't immediately love it, but I don't dislike it immediately. Kind of think I'll need to see, you know, wear it with different foundations and things. I should have bought it in a darker colour. I'm absolutely going to concede to that. I'm just going to add a little bit more under eye. I haven't been sleeping very well recently. I've not been very well, so I do look a little tired. God, this is light. Oh well, we live and learn. I love the aesthetics of Vieve as a brand as well, very much. Kind of what I like with the yellow gold and quite simple and black as well. Right, I'm not doing a great job with this. Yeah, marshmallow sponge makes everything better. So it's light, but we knew that going in. I don't know. I'll set everything down. Finish off the rest of my face, and then we'll come in and finish off my under eye, and then I'll do the lip, and then we'll kind of see how we feel about everything. Okay, so I shall be right back. Okay, so I'm back. I've finished off my base and I've put a bit of black eyeliner on. So I'm just going to do my under eye. So I'm going to take Soot, or Soot, whatever, which is the darkest shade under. I'm being careful because I know that this is quite fallouty. I'm just going to really want to smoke out under eye. And I feel like sometimes looks really don't pull together until you've kind of finished it off and done everything. Because I was really questioning this. And when I was putting my base on, I was like, oh, are people going to like this? I don't know. We'll see. And then I'm doing 93 as well, just to pull that sort of purpley tone back in. I'm dying to do a look where the purpley tone's a bit more of the focus. So maybe I'll just do a little something on Instagram where that is more pulled through in the look. And then I'm just going to fluff it under eye. And I really think the bright concealer looks good now the rest of my base is on. Understandably, I know that that's not necessarily so much the fashion anymore, but I just really like what I like when it comes to my base product, and very much I'm kind of set and stuck in my ways since I've been wearing makeup for nearly 20 years. So I just, yeah, like what I like. I am going to do a little bit of, feel like I lost a bit of the shimmery shades. So I'm on a flat brush. I'm just going to take VHS again and just push that back into the lid. And I'm taking it on a brush because obviously my base is on now and I don't want to mess up my base too much. Oh, I really love a dark shimmer. And then just on the same brush, just taking a little bit of acid wash. See, it's fallen down a little bit. I'm just going to push that across the centre. Just to really brighten it up, that little touch. Pop that away. So I'm going to go off and pop my lashes on. Then it just means it's the last time I need to come off camera. I've got a bit of lip plumper on, so I'll take off my lip plumper and then come back and I'll show you the lip. So I shall see you shortly. So the hair's definitely come out a little bit more 80s than 90s, but we are just going with it. So going in with the lip liner and matching lipstick in the shade Brat. Some lovely packaging again, matches the palette quite well, and I like to really overline my lips. And then feather in the sides. So it's definitely pinker than I expected. I think it's actually super similar to Pillow Talk. I don't know if I have one of those liners, a Pillow Talk liner in front of me. It might be in a handbag. So let me swatch it a bit on the hand. Oh no, definitely browner than Pillow Talk. So that's Pillow Talk and then that is Brat. So actually not dissimilar. It's quite similar to my Hot Gossip that I wear quite a lot, but just not as brown. Maybe it's like in between the two. And then the lip colour in the shade Brat as well. Oh, I love this packaging so much. Oh, wow, 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 wow. And it's like textured, like the leopard print is textured, so I love that. Oh, I really love this colour. So you're meant to be a matte, modern matte lipstick in Brat. So I bought them as like a lip kit together. I don't know if I got any discount or anything on it. Okay, I really like that. It's a great nude for me. Really lovely nude for me. Okay, so let's have a little bit of a chitty chat. So let's start with the eyeshadow palette. I really like it. It's like cool toned dream. What cool toned, don't look at my horrible desk. It's like what cool toned dreams are made of, really. Yeah, I'm really excited to play with it some more, maybe do something a little bit more precise with it. I really like this lip combo and this packaging is a million out of 10 on this. Lip liner, I like it. I really like the formula. I definitely prefer them ones that sharpen as well, like that. So I love it, and I just love the packaging. Like, that is sleek, that is nice, gorgeous, gorgeous. The concealer, my bad, it's too light. It is definitely too light for me, and that is my own stupidity. But I can make it work. Is it my favourite formula? No, but I'll play around with it. My skin is a little iffy right now as the season change, so we'll see. The Vieve Skin Nova, lovely. I think that other product is probably more for me, probably closer to Flawless Filter, which I love. Would I buy a full size? I don't know. Yeah, we'll kind of have to see. It's nice underneath quite a matte foundation, but I really like it. But yeah, I hope you kind of like my bit more modern take on so like a kind of 90s grungy look. But yeah, I'm super excited. I can definitely use that as I do some kind of Halloween-y dark looks, so we'll kind of see where we get on. And I love it now that I've got lashes on, and the look really came together towards the end. I've put a slightly more natural lash on than I normally would, but yeah, I really like it. Anyway, let me know what you think down below. I've really enjoyed filming this video and hoping to get back to, you know, kind of a little bit more regular filming here and there where I can. And there's lipstick on my teeth. When is it not one of my videos when I don't have lipstick on my teeth? The amount of times I edit out me taking lipstick off my teeth. Yeah, don't forget to go follow me over on Instagram. I'll leave both my Instagram handles down below. I've got my like artistic on myself and artistic on other people as well, so my freelance page, so give me a follow over there. Let me know down below what else you'd like to see from me, but thank you very much for watching my video. Don't forget to subscribe and give me a like down below, and I'll see you next time. Bye.